Number 3.
Cool. Number 3. Riot Games has unveiled the first post-launch character for Valorant. Killjoy is going to bring a new tactical approach to the game. So we're going to go over her abilities real quick. Her first one being the alarm bot. So you throw the alarm bot, and if an enemy steps in the range of the bot, it'll kind of work like the wolves in Spike Rush, where the bot will go and hunt him down, and if it explodes and hits the person, it does similar to Viper's snake bites. It causes the person to be susceptible to double damage from all sources. So
that's pretty lit.
yeah. She like I'll give my thoughts after we talk.
Are you able to shoot them? Like, are they targetable? Or is it like, oh, you walk through this corridor, now you take double damage for 10 seconds?
I don't know. Like, they have videos of all the abilities, and it doesn't look, it's not super noticeable. So I'm not 100% sure if it's going to be something you can actually shoot and take out, or if it's going to be one of those things where it's you kind of can't. I would assume yes, because I don't think there's anything that is. There's no way to counter an ability in a game yet. I mean, like Cypher's cage slows you, yeah, but it doesn't really do that much to you. So I don't know. I would have to double check that.
This could be something really, really good on pistol rounds then, because if you put in a corner where they rush through, the whole team takes that double damage, and you have 2 people on site, you can kind of mow down a whole team.
Yeah, I'm really curious about the duration itself. I've just kind of watched the reveal trailer, read some stuff on it myself, so I haven't seen the exact information, but this, I don't think it'll be like game breaking, but I do agree with Golden. It could be very good for early rounds.
Well, it says that you can hold equip to recall your deployed bot.
That's for the.
That's
that is for the alarm bot. Yeah.
It's the same thing as Cypher. You just pick up your traps. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Interesting. So I would assume you could destroy it.
Yeah. That'd be my guess. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it have like similar to Cypher's traps, where if you get close enough, it'll like reveal
detect
it, or essentially.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So this next ability is this, there's a deployable turret that you have. Think Torbjorn from Overwatch, pretty much. It's the same thing. You throw the turret. When somebody comes in its range, it's a 180-degree cone that it can aim towards. It'll target that person. I don't know if there's confirmed what the damage will be, but if I remember correctly, it's not gonna be.
I think it's like supposed to be 5.
Yeah, it's not gonna
I
be
think it's
like
supposed to be
high
more like a
damage.
distraction, like put it around a corner, wait till it shoots, and then peek. And it looks like you can pick it up even after it's shot. So
yeah, you could pick it up. I believe it's supposed to be your free ability, so you never have to buy it.
Yes.
And it looks like you can place it on like heights and stuff, so like boxes and whatnot.
Yeah, I know one of the examples I saw for her was like on split B site. You're able to put it up on those boxes by garage.
That's smart.
Yeah,
that's a good placement.
Her third ability is Nanoswarm. So you throw a grenade that, when triggered, does AoE damage to everybody that's in it. Again, I don't know if we have a damage tick rate on that, but
that's
actually,
what I saw.
Yeah, it's actually just seeing the way the ability works, it looks like it could be a pretty strong hard denial ability, like a raised grenade. And then her ultimate, Lockdown, she throws this, I guess, beacon you can call it, that charges up for roughly 12 seconds, and then it just emits this almost EMP type thing where anybody or any enemy that's trapped in it is stunned for up to 8 seconds.
Yeah. It says that it can be destroyed by your enemies, but yeah, they're caught in this dome, and like they literally can't get out of it unless you destroy it. So that'll be interesting. I feel like because of her, every match you're gonna see a Cypher and a Killjoy now, and they're each gonna take one site unless you're on a 3-site map, and you're not gonna want to go to those sites now because Cypher is just going to have his traps, his cages, his camera. Okay, well, we already hate going to that site. And so imagine like the map split. Cypher will take B still, and if you throw a Killjoy on A, I mean, she's got an alarm bot, she's got nano swarm grenade that goes invisible, so it's just a trap, and then you have a turret, so like just throw it down long A, and then on ramp you just throw all your other equipment, and like that's a hard push. Now you're kind of forced to push mid unless you figure out a good counter to it, but
We're gonna have a lot. The meta's gonna change from fragging to mobility. So Jet and Omen are gonna be probably top picks as a counter. Then, is what I think.
mhm.
They
Yeah,
definitely could be.
smokers will be huge. Like they already are, but keeping it that way. So
Yeah.
Chet Omen.
The funny thing is, I've seen a lot of people talk about the ability to lock down her ultimate, and they don't really care for it. I really could see it as a great delay tactic. You know, put it down, like they're coming. Yeah, put it down, cages them in, and then you're like, all right, team, hurry up and get here. You guys have time. They're locked in. Or it could be even used on offense, I think, really well. Let's say you're on Haven, and you guys are pushing A site, and you guys are like, all right, let's rotate. You throw that down like around B. The rest of the team goes C, trap some of them inside of that, and then maybe force it to be like a 5v2, or even just make it from I think like the bomb's like 30 seconds. They might not even be able to get there for 8 seconds because of your ultimate now. I mean, that really could be very interesting. I'm very excited to see the kind of plays we'll see from her ultimate lockdown.
I'm also curious if she can go in and out of it, because it says that it detains enemies inside.
Yeah.
So can she leave?
I would think.
Yeah,
so.
well,
I think her and team
anybody that is in there can until it goes off, the EMP part goes off, and it's like again, if you look at the ability video that they have on their website, it's like a 12-second charge. It's it's definitely something that you have to put early and anticipate. It's not something you can just throw down and it'll work, because it is something that can be destroyed. I think the one thing that with Killjoy is that, to me, she might overtake Cypher as the #1 pick for comp, because her kit feels like it can not only lock down a site, but it can lock down once you plant the bomb, which I feel like Cypher's kit doesn't feel as good for. Whereas her, especially with her ultimate, she locks down a bomb site for 20 seconds with her ult. If a team hasn't gotten to that bomb site and you just throw down her ult, that's 20 seconds with the charge up and the stun time that they aren't able to get to the bomb. That's almost half the bomb timer in itself. Not only that, the nano swarms doing a lot of damage over time. The turret being able to just pop it on the bomb and it'll just delay them even further. So it feels like her kit's going to be really, really strong on both sides, because she's going to be able to hard deny diffuses too.
Yeah. Which is fair. I mean, you could put the alarm bot on the bomb, you could put the turret on the bomb. There's a lot of things you do. Yeah. So no, I agree. I'm very excited to see what it's going to do to shake up the meta. So it's going to be really interesting for sure.
I think her ult and the shooting bot are kind of like meh. Like, the ult has a really long charge time. It can be used in very specific situations, but her grenade trap looks like it almost one-shots people without armor. And the alarm bot, which does the decaying, is super good on save rounds and pistol rounds. So 4 out of the rounds per half, you can take away all of their armor or weaken them so much that you with a classic is the same as them with a phantom, basically. So if you have 2 people with classics and you just hold a corridor together, this is gonna be crazy with the amount of stuff that she could do. I think it's gonna be.
Yeah, she's gonna be a really strong pick.
It'll also matter how many of anything you can carry. I'm sure the turret's a 1.
Yeah.
But can she carry 2 grenades, 2 alarm bots, or just 1 of each, or 2 of one of another?
I'm sure one of them will be 2, and I think it'd probably be the alarm bot. I like that one, but I definitely think that one might be the least useful in an aspect of what it can do without added things with
Yeah.
it, because like Golden said, you do need to have people to be able to shoot them and stuff with that. But I mean, if you put 2 of those, I mean, if you're just thinking Haven itself, to make it easiest to keep talking about that map, you can put 1 garage, 1 seat long, and then you're pretty much cutting that side off. Then you Sage Wall mid, Cypher on, down on A. I mean, there's a lot of new things you can do on locking down points. I do think defense, you're going to see a bigger push on winning sides on defense again, because I feel like the last month it's been getting a little more offensive heavy. Like, at least for us, I feel like we've been winning a lot more offense. We'll go like 8-4 on offense, and then on defense we're just getting trampled. So yeah, no, I'm extremely excited to see what this will do for the game, though.
So you're in 2 days, right?
I believe so, because the new season
I think is in 2 days.
Yeah, 'cause she should be coming with the new season, which is a couple days. Shout out to our boy Schneeds, our number 1 fan, our mod. Much love, dude. Yeah, I think she's gonna be really interesting, because you might, to Golden's point, I feel like you will see a meta shift. I feel like, with having her, again, a lot of teams probably will start going Cypher and Killjoy. So you might start to see people go with 2 duelists and an Omen, to help with your push potential, because having both of those characters really limits your push potential. So you might start seeing, Phoenix getting a little more play in competitive and things like that, because they can, pick up where those 2 lack.
I'm really excited too. I hope they said they're going to release a lot more characters, right?
Mhm.
So I'm hoping
Every 2 months.
I hope that it comes to the point of like League, where there is a pick ban for competitive. I really, really think that'd be so much more fun, so much more mental game.
I agree.
If you and your team all hate Cypher, like Cypher's the worst, we can just eliminate that and have fun playing the game. We can strategize without him. That would be super cool.
Yeah, I'd like that a lot.
I feel like that's something that the game will get to at some point, because they've said it's gonna get the League treatment where they're gonna have a roster of like 100 characters eventually. So I'm sure it'll have to get to that point eventually. But we'll see. We'll see. I one thing that's interesting to me is seeing someone like Killjoy now. I would love to see a character that is almost like Ezreal in TFT, where they have like almost like an EMP ability that disables,
Equipment,
like floor-based equipment for like X amount of time, to help negate how strong 2 of these characters are at locking down a site right now, especially with only one of these maps having more than 2 sites. It just feels like defense is going to be even harder, or sorry, attacking is going to be even harder with these 2.
Right.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that would be a smart character to see soon, would be like an EMP character. It would really bring another shift into the meta of kind of getting people away from the defensive characters, and I would love to kind of see that bounce back and forth. It's like, all right, for this month, 2 months, or this season of it, it's going to be very defensive heavy, and now it's very attack heavy. Now it's a mix. I think that would be really cool to kind of see.
I'd like to actually see a EMP like you said, but I would want it to be an ult on a 5 or even 4 thing cooldown, because if you can buy an EMP grenade for $400, like the most expensive every round, you can just take whatever site you want. So I think having it as an ult would be important, where you can't just continuously destroy defensive teams, because it takes away that part of the game for Cypher and Killjoy and anything like that. I feel like you can't just take that out, so it would have to be an ult rather than a ability.
And I think that's, depending on how they do it, is it going to be just a big radius where it hits like the whole point, or, I would say, a small little grenade that if you threw it, let's say, split garage side, you throw it into that little garage, like cubby, narrow hallway. Okay, you might get a Cypher trap, or you might get like the Cypher cage as well. Like, so I don't think it should be too crazy, unless, yes, they did it for the ultimate, whereas maybe like a 5-point ultimate where, yeah, it could, wherever you're standing, it EMPs out and like hits, multiple items. I think that'd be very interesting then.
Or you could even do something like, if you guys, I know Golden's play a lot of Siege, IQ. have
Yeah.
someone with a their E ability that has like a 35-40 second cooldown where they can just like basically ping equipment. So you're going to a site and you can like ping like, okay, there's 2 cipher traps here and a viper bubble and like all this stuff here. Let's just let's try to make a play somewhere else. Something
Or
like that
like,
would be really interesting too.
Yeah.
Twitch, I think it is, where you get that drone, you can destroy equipment, you control the drone and shoot it, kind of thing.
So right, if you're listening, there you go. There's your next 2 characters.
for you.
Who helped you out?